Okay, I hope you can hear me through all the wind. This is Douglas Pass. You're going to come through here, up a bunch of squiggly wigglies, up the mountain. It's going to be a really cool drive, epic scenery. And then at the very top of Douglas Pass, you're going to see this. There's a road that cuts up to the left and the road that cuts to the right. We're heading up there. At 2.6 miles up the road, Douglas Pass, you get on this gravel road here. 2.6 miles, you're going to see a road to the right and to the left. We are going to the left. Okay, Douglas Pass, leaf fossils. So, you can surface pick, but it's well worth it to get up in there and start pulling the shale and splitting it. I talked to a local, he said that's really the best way to find things. He's been here many times, sometimes pulling shale, splitting it, and not actually even finding anything great. But he says other days he's found like multiple big, full, beautiful leaves. So I just want to show you what I got here in front of me. There's some fragments there, obviously leaf imprints. These ones aren't perfect and they're not complete, but it gives you an idea of what we're going to be after today. So let me get into it and show you what we got. As far as parking, the road up is accessible by any vehicle. I would say any car can make this, and you can just pull off to the side here and it's not a busy road. You're just literally out in nature on a gravel road. There's many ways to break shale. You can bring it home and use special jigs and stuff that'll optimize the splitting. In the field, you can use a hammer and chisel. Hammer and chisel is going to be the best in the field because of how it sends the shockwave straight down and through. I use a hammer like this with a chisel end rather than a point, and I smack and cleave sections off, but I get these swoops that happen rather than clean energy strikes that send themselves all the way through. The shockwave kind of creates a curl, and that's the issue with this hammer, is you usually don't get a clean break. By the way, here's a partial little leaf fossil in there, but ultimately hammer and chisel slows you down. It takes longer to set the pieces up. For striking, you have to have an anvil stone, things like that. Whereas this method, I can hold it in my hand and smack it with the hammer from my other hand. It's faster, but messier. Whereas, again, hammer and chisel, slower but cleaner work. So those are your choices. I'm going through all this shale. I've been trying to pluck pieces. You can see, obviously, there's a lot of weight, right? When you look at these shale books. A lot of weight on it, so relieving the wedges is challenging. It'd be good to know if there's specific layers here that are optimal for the leaf fossils, or if it's just random all throughout any. Right now I'm just finding the big books that are loose and easy to get at and splitting them to get a feel for it and see what's here. Okay, so I just split this one and we got a beetle. You can see the head on the right, the body and back, and the legs underneath. Too bad we're missing his bum, but there are definitely insects at this site too. Okay, I've been splitting shale for the last 20 minutes, give or take, non-stop, maybe even half an hour. There's not a lot here, to be honest. Like, there's nicer ones than other sites around here, but they are seldom, and you gotta split a lot of rock to get them. Here, for example, there's a three-prong leaf that I got a piece of. Nice little cute one, light, easy to take home, but you gotta break a lot of rocks open to find yourself some good ones. As far as breaking the books loose, this is the kind of site that would benefit from a crowbar, like a big iron pry bar, steel pry bar, because you can get in the cracks between all these shale sheets and really lift and pry them apart and get big books out rather than just little swings with the hammer. Obviously, the harder you hit with that hammer, the longer that shockwave is going to go straight through. But I'm starting to realize this is one of those sites where, whoa, sorry, shale's a little loose right here. We're okay. I'm just realizing that it's the kind of site that would benefit from a crowbar. So if you do have one of those, bring it out before you head up, and you'll move a lot more rock than with a little hammer. Okay, hopefully you can see this guy right above my thumb here. You can see the body and the faint impression of the wings, the little round head at the top. So that's a nice bug. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera as well as it is in real life, but it's a very good impression. I've always wondered if I could just quartz cap pieces like this and make little cabs out of them that way. Find things like little leaf tips and stuff throughout, kind of indiscernible. I don't know what that is, part of a leaf or a stem or something. In here you can see like a little reed or something. So some that are this thick I'll split more, but you gotta work for it. It's really one of those sites where if you want a nice full fossil of some kind, you gotta work. And make sure you're looking at all those little dots on the pieces to make sure you don't miss the bugs, because the bugs can be pretty cool.